So, what really makes a modern digital business stand out from the pack? It's not just about having the flashiest tech. It's really about how you weave everything together your technology, your processes, your intelligence, and your governance into one seamless system that actually creates value. And today, we're going to break that system down.
First, let's talk about the big problem here, the modern digital dilemma. This is a challenge that pretty much every company runs into when they try to really go digital.
So, I want you to ask yourself this question and be honest. Is your digital strategy a finely tuned system? Or is it more like a garage full of really powerful, expensive parts that, well, they haven't actually been assembled into a car that works? There's a name for this: digital fragmentation. It's when you've invested in the best of the best, great cloud platforms like workflow tools, even some cutting-edge AI. But if they don't talk to each other, you're just creating silos. And that doesn't just waste a ton of money, it opens you up to huge security risks and, frankly, creates a whole lot of confusion for everyone involved. Okay, so how do we fix this chaos? Well, to bring order to it all, we need a solid framework. And the source material for this explainer introduces a really powerful one, built on what it calls the 4 pillars. And here it is. This is the unified value stack. I really like this visual because it makes the whole thing click. It shows the complete flow. You start with your big strategic goals on the left, you move through these 4 integrated pillars in the middle, and it all connects directly to the actual business outcomes you want on the right. This is basically our roadmap for the rest of this conversation. All right, let's deconstruct these 4 pillars. We're going to pull them apart one by one to really understand what makes each one so critical. Pillar number 1 is cloud infrastructure. Now, think of this as the foundation of your entire digital enterprise. We're way past talking about just servers, right? This is the flexible, on-demand backbone that lets you innovate and operate literally anywhere in the world. The cloud is a total game changer. It takes your infrastructure from being a bottleneck to being a true business enabler. But, and this is a huge but, all that power brings a ton of new complexity. For example, if you're not managing it really carefully, those flexible costs can just spiral out of control. Let's move on to our second pillar, workflows. So if the cloud is the foundation, you can think of workflows as the engine. This is the operational layer. It's where your big picture strategy gets translated into actual, tangible work getting done across the company. You see, great workflows connect everything: people, systems, all of it, so information just flows where it needs to go. But here's the catch. If every team is just off building their own separate workflows, you end up right back where you started, with the exact same silo problem we talked about earlier. And now for pillar number 3, artificial intelligence. This is the intelligence layer. It's the brain of the whole operation. AI is what sifts through mountains of data to find patterns and make predictions, which lets your business shift from just reacting to problems to actually being proactive. AI can totally supercharge your team's decision-making, for sure, but it also comes with some really tough new challenges. How do you make sure your AI models are transparent and fair? How do you know the data you're feeding them is any good? These become really critical governance questions. And that leads us perfectly into our 4th and final pillar, governance and assurance. This is the system of control. It's the framework that makes sure your cloud, your workflows, and your AI are all operating securely, efficiently, and most importantly, in lockstep with your business goals. Now, modern governance isn't about some stuffy audit that happens once a year. It's a continuous, real-time system. It weaves risk and performance right into your day-to-day operations. It's all about making sure your controls are actually giving you the results you want. So we have our 4 pillars, but here is the absolute key takeaway. Their true power is unlocked only when they are integrated. When they operate by themselves, they don't just underperform, they actively fail. In this slide, just lays it out perfectly. On the left, you've got the fragmented approach. It's messy, it's leaky, it's creating waste and risk. And on the right, you've got the integrated system. It's elegant, it's aligned, it delivers consistent value. I mean, the choice seems pretty obvious, doesn't it? So the real question is, how do you actually achieve that integration? The answer is a unifying system that's designed to do exactly that. It's called a Digital Value Management System, or DVMS. The easiest way to think about it is as the connective tissue, or maybe the central nervous system for your entire digital enterprise. It's the governing system that makes sure your big ideas actually turn into real, measurable outcomes across all 4 of those pillars. So how does it actually work? Well, the concept is actually pretty straightforward. First, it draws a straight line from your highest level strategy all the way down to what people are doing every day. Second, it pulls performance metrics and risk management together, so you're not having 2 separate conversations. And finally, it focuses everything on one thing, delivering outcomes you can actually prove. And what happens when you bring all of this together? The results are incredibly powerful. You're not just building a more efficient company, you're building a more resilient and a more trustworthy one. The key outcomes here are crystal clear. You get way more resilient, so you can anticipate and handle disruptions before they become crises. You get way better performance by making sure your digital investments aren't going to waste. And you get total transparency and accountability, which is how you build real trust with everyone, from your board members all the way to your customers. So let's end where we began, but with this new perspective. Take a hard look at your own organization, your cloud, your workflows, your AI, and your governance. Are they just 4 separate pillars standing alone in a field? Or are they working together as the foundation for something truly remarkable? The answer to that question will absolutely define your future.